Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are now in day 15 of our Revitalization Fast, and it has been ever more so wonderful with all that we have accomplished and shared in the Saving Alkaline Hall, especially with all of our guest speakers that have invested their time with us. So it has been a great, great honor to invite them to the hall to be able to give us their words of wisdom. So I've been very, very excited about that. And we yet again have another wonderful guest speaker with joining us tonight. So I'm just going to give a few more moments for a few people just to hop on in. Let's see. And I hope you're feeling great for day 15. Guys, we have done a great, 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 great job. It has been amazing, and I really love all of the group participation that we've had. And let me not forget that for those of you that are not in the group or you want your family members to join into the series with all the great information that we're receiving, you can definitely and subscribe and share and watch the videos on the Sabian Alkaline Hall YouTube channel. The link is right here on the screen, so be sure to share that and let your loved ones know to subscribe because this is just the first of the year. So we're going to have many, many, many more guest speakers and events like this that will go on. Because as I stated before, one of my primary goals for this year is to bring our alkaline community together. As Dr. Truth mentioned on our last series on Monday night, it seems as if in the community that Dr. Sabi's name is being faded away. And that's one of the promises that I said that I never do. And it's many of us out here still doing Dr. Sebi's work. There are so many herbalists out here in this community that is still bringing healing in their community. And so many of you that are still interested in joining us and being able to provide the information that we need to be able to help heal our community. So that's one of the reasons that we're doing these live series to bring unity to the community and also keep us inspired, keep us healing, and keep us on a natural state. As always, we do want you to make sure that you comment and you can also ask questions here on the live as well. If you have any questions, feel free to jot your questions down here on the live and we'll be addressing your questions throughout the live. And share the YouTube. Let's get into it. It's going to be great information with our guest speaker tonight. He's been doing this quite some time. So I'm so excited to have him join us tonight. So I guess y'all sleeping. Y'all forgot about the live tonight, but I know you guys going to jump in and take a listen on later on. So we're just going to move right along so we don't take up too much of our guest speaker's time tonight. And move right along with our live. I definitely wanted to give a giveaway tonight, but it looks like we only have one person viewing at the moment. And the giveaway would be a $25 gift card to the person that has the most comments on the live tonight. And that $25 gift card will be for Sacred Roots, which is the website for our guest speaker tonight, where you will be able to shop his website. So since we have a lot of busy people out here this evening and not present on the live, we will, I'll probably just look at the comments a little bit later, maybe in 24 hours. And of those of you that have your comments or respond through the live will have the opportunity to win the $25 gift card. So without further ado, I'm going to bring our guest speaker onto the screen. Let me just, share some information about our guest speaker. He's definitely been a major inspiration to me over the years. I remember him because one of the proteges here in the Sabin Alkaline Hall, the Vibrant Alkaline Vegan Foods with Cheryl, this is one of her counterparts, and she has shared him a lot, and he does a lot of events in his community, which I really admire. He is a master herbalist. He's also a Reiki teacher, holistic health nutrition, as you see here on the screen. and he's been in this lifestyle and doing this work for over 12 years. So that is such an honor to have him invest his time with us tonight to give us some of his knowledge. So that way, you guys know that we are still out here doing Sebi's work, and we're here to help and inspire and move everyone forward along the way. So I'm going to go ahead and bring him onto the screen. Let's go ahead and welcome Khet Wasutep. I said it right?
That's good. I'll take it. You good?
Okay, okay. All right. So just go ahead and introduce yourself and tell everyone who you are, how you got started, and how you feel about this lifestyle.
Yeah. So my name's Khet Hutip. I'm a student of the late great ancestor of Baba Dr. Laila Africa. So praise be upon him. Um, how I got started though, was probably how everybody got started. You was sick. You was sick.
Yeah.
Um, I just happened to be sick at a younger age, like around like 13, 14. I had real bad asthma. And, my parents, they had herbs in the cabinet, just like probably all our parents back then. You had some type of herbs in your cabinet, especially here in the low country. And I don't know. I just got tired of it one day, tired of asthma because I couldn't cut the grass because I had real bad allergies, couldn't run like I wanted to run, all these different things. So, and I had the pump, so I had asthma. So,
Asthma. Yeah.
yeah, so I just got tired of it one time. I'm a young guy, and so I went in the cabinet and I just started taking every herb. I don't even know what it was I was using at the time. I was young, so I just throw it all in the pot and I kept using it, and drinking it. And I started seeing improvement. Um, in my neighborhood, we had a lot of culture, different cultures. But one particular was a brother who was in the nation of gods and earth, or what they call the five percenters back then. And he was like, man, you got to give up cheese and you got to stop eating this and stop eating that. And I'm like, I'm young. I'm like, well, I ain't about to give up no macaroni and cheese. You crazy? You know, but
Yes.
listen, I still listen because you young, you impressionable, and
Right.
you talk about the black man is God and all that. I'm just like, all right, I'm gonna try it, But as I tried it, I realized I wasn't wheezing anymore. I realized that, I could run. I didn't allergies cleared up, so I just stopped eating meat altogether. At like about 15, I stopped eating like all type of animal flesh, So you can imagine at this age, your mama, your dad, everybody thinking you crazy. This little crazy. What's wrong with him?
Hmm.
Thinking like it's a phase, but I was like, man, I don't eat that no more. I don't eat this no more. I don't eat that no more. And my mom was like, well, I don't know what you gonna eat because this is what we got to eat. And,
Right.
yeah, but
Right.
be upon her because eventually she started realizing, oh, he's serious about this. So now, she cooking the collard greens, have my own little side, a pot of collard greens, my own little side, of everything without the
Mhm.
meat and things like that. So eventually, it got better. And so, now I'm becoming known for this, man, he got herbs that could help or whatever, whatever, and I'm probably about 17 around this time, something like that, and they're like, hey man, what you got for this? Or what you got for this? I would run in the house and take this, or here, take this. Um, so I did that for maybe, I'm 45 now, so I was doing that for about 30, maybe 30 years. Oh, that's a long time, huh? But anyway, so eventually, so I never made it into a business though. It was just all
Mhm. You're
just
helping out.
I just
Yeah.
wanted to, you know what I mean? So it never was really like a business. Until I healed a lady, a elder of her diabetes, right? And she was the one that really pushed me and said, "Hey, this your calling. This is what you supposed to be doing. You out here, running the street, you doing everything but what you supposed to be doing, And and she gave me $100, and I was like, man, I don't need your money. I don't, you know what I mean? She's like, take this money, boy. So, you know, I was like, all right, I ain't gonna, you know. So I took the money, you
Uh-huh.
know, I just invested in myself, and I turned it into a business. Back then it was called Natural Essence, and then but I ended up changing the name as it started to progress and grow. So um, so I've been in the business of healing, you know, if you want to call it that, for about 12 years, maybe 12, 13 something
Okay.
years. Yeah.
Hmm.
So um, I met Dr. Africa. We, you know, and that's where I really learned all the nutritional and the how to, you know, infuse these herbs, how to make it work, and why you using this herb, why you using this, why not to use this at this particular time, and you know, things like that, and going out foraging and picking these herbs myself, and just, you know, becoming like a scientist in the lab and putting it together and see what work, what don't work, using myself as you know, as a test. I don't want to call myself a dummy, so as a tester, right? And started using other people too. Like, yeah, try it and see what happened. You know,
Right.
you know, you know, um, long story short, because there's so much in between. But here I am, you know, standing with you today. You know, so
Beautiful, beautiful work. So I see that you have a beautiful picture with Dr. Sebi behind. So I
yeah.
know when I started back in 2016, there were many groups out here. It was the Dr. Sebi was the trend. This is what we were learning, and we were kind of felt alone. But now that the community has changed, what is your feeling as far as the state of the community, and how would you like to see things change?
I want us. I'm glad to keep that change going, but I also want to see progression into the science of it. You understand?
Good.
Because it's much that he gave that wasn't on videotapes, that wasn't, you understand? So a
Hmm.
lot of things that were shared and taught wasn't always on them YouTube videos. So you don't, you know what I mean? He may have felt a certain way about something, but you know, you only go by this. But he gave us a good basic foundation for us to build upon. So we gotta understand that he gave us a foundation, right? But we still have to build. So things will change. Because even then, you know, when we look at the like the food list, right? If we look at the food list, we see the food list. That food list has been since the 80s. You understand what I'm saying? There have been changes every now and then, right? We've seen changes in it, right? But for the most part, that was it's a very limited list for a particular people that may have been sick during that time, you know, and needed that right there.
Hmm.
But right now, you know, with so much out here, we could do a lot of more research and find out what's more, you know what I mean? Because understanding what
Right.
alcohol is and acidity is, right? You know, because you will have people that may be fanatical, right? I call them fanatics, right? And they don't really understand the science of it. You know what I mean? And I
Right.
give an example like, okay, you're never going to make your body more alkaline than it wants to be. Your body only wants to be slightly alkaline, right? If you go from 0 to 14, your body wants to be about 7.5, 7.6.
Right. Right.
Anything higher or could actually be toxic for the body. You understand? We call
That's
this.
correct.
You understand? So, um, I always make a joke. I always tell people, well, if you want to be alkaline, drink some chlorine. That's 13 on the scale, right? Ammonia is 14. It's alkaline, but you ain't gonna drink that shit, right? You
Right.
understand? So,
Right.
so it's just like you have to understand the differences between acidity and alkalinity, and understanding that even we have different parts of our bodies has its own specific pH too, right? So your hair is meant to be acidic. Your hair is acidic. Let's say the woman's vagina, that is acidic. It's supposed to be acidic. You understand?
Mhm.
Our very makeup, your DNA is what? It's acidic. You were created from acid. You know what I mean? So when we talk about DNA or what they call it, deoxyribonucleic, what? Acid. So we are acidic people, but your body knows how to make, your body knows that to find this balance or this homeostasis that it needs to be slightly alkaline, not too much alkaline
Right.
and not acidic, right? It doesn't want to be acidic, none. Um, but I just be wanting the community to understand um, and further the information, and the science when we talking about alkaline versus acid and
Mhm.
how the body itself functions and how the body itself looks at, alkalinity versus acid, if you want to call it that. So
Absolutely.
mhm.
Now, since you have been a wonderful herbalist in your community, what are some of the dis-ease of the bodies that you have addressed the most? And what were some of your remedies? What are some of the things that you recommend to help individuals with those things?
Yeah. Um, high blood pressure, cancer. I mean, so many. But the most prevalent is always, it's always high blood pressure. It's always high blood pressure because what we don't understand about high blood pressure is we lack, or we're deficient in the minerals needed to regulate the blood pressure, right? And so we're eating um, non-nutritional, what's the nutritional deficient foods? Let's say that way, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, your blood and your heart is now happen to pump harder, right? And to
Mm-hmm.
right the quantity of blood so that it can get some form of nutrients, right?
Right.
So if we're not getting nutrition, from our foods, then your blood pressure is always going to be high because your body's trying to stay alive. When you got high blood pressure, your body basically is dying. We don't even look at it that, but yo, it's
Mm.
stay alive at this point. And so it's trying to, the heart is pumping faster, the kidneys working harder, the adrenal glands have to work harder. Like everything is working harder than it's supposed to be working. And so you start to become, well, organs start to become fatigued, damaged, right? But I always do all the time, like the most important minerals of anything is your magnesium, calcium, and potassium, which those three are actually alkaline herbs. I mean, well, alkaline minerals. Those
Mm-hmm.
minerals are alkaline. You know what I'm saying? It's very
Right.
high. You understand? So we have to understand that for one thing. Herbs that you can use is like nettle. Nettle is very high in magnesium. Alfalfa high in magnesium. And then you got other herbs like Florida de Manita, or they call it little hand flower. That's excellent for reducing blood pressure. Hibiscus, another herb for reducing blood pressure and cleansing the blood as well. Dandelion root, is going to cleanse the kidneys, and it's also high in potassium, magnesium, iron as well.
Mm-hmm.
You have there's so many different herbs that you can use, but we just call them nutritive herbs, right? Well,
Mm-hmm.
in the herbal world, you have nutritive herbs, all right? And so those herbs basically saying they're dense with nutrients to feed the blood, right? So that can circulate and carry throughout the whole body. And this will help, lower the blood pressure. But the main thing, like we all know, is what we eat, right? Is the food.
That's right.
Eating. You can't eat a pig leg and then think, oh, well, and then ask yourself, why my blood pressure high? What do you mean, why your pressure high? You just ate a whole pig leg just now. You know what I mean? So that's, when we think about that. But that's the thing about our people, though. We don't really
Mm-hmm.
associate what we eat by the
Yeah.
diseases that happen in our body. So that
Right.
weirdest thing. That part I still never can figure this out. I've taught
Right.
this for 20 years and I still don't figure out why we associate what we eat and the diseases that we, acquire. So
Right.
they call me a master herbalist, but I ain't master that part.
That is true. I think that people are coming more around to it now that the food has changed so drastically in the industry, and even some of the vegan foods have changed drastically in the industry because a lot of the foods are processed and has a lot of chemicals and doesn't have the minerals that the body needs to be able to sustain the body. And just like you, I tell people all the time that you have to first deal with the cause of the problem because you can drink as much herbal tea as you want, do much meditation you want, praying that you want. If you never change the cause of what's causing the problem to happen, then you're not going to get the best results that you should be receiving. Am I correct?
That's right. That's a fact. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right. Well, we're just gonna take a little quick break here, and like I said, some people will be watching this a little bit later, so hopefully, I'm able to give that $25 gift card. But we're gonna take a quick break and come right back and talk a little bit more before we end things off. Have about another 5 or 10 minutes, so we don't take up too much of your time, and we will be right back. So, thank you so much. So, tell us what is new and what's happening, what's in the future with Sacred Roots.
Oh man, so of course we do our health class, sacred health classes once a month. We do that once a month on various topics, whether it's teaching people how to make the medicines, and just various topics, that may plague our community. All right. So we're gonna do that. We also have the Sacred Roots Academy, where we certify other um, those that aspire to be herbalists, we and nutritionists. So we certify. We are accredited as well. Um, so that's going well. A lot of students are signing up. A lot of students are. I'm proud of everybody. Who really been taking the time to really study. Because some people say, man, it's like a medical course, man. I don't, but it's like for me, you have to understand the body in order to heal it.
That's
So some people would think that you're just gonna come and just learn about all these different herbs, and they're like, that's like the last part. Let's learn about the body
right.
first, and then we get to the herbs. By the time you get know so much about the body, the herbs gonna come. That's the easy part. You know what I mean? Honestly. So we got that going on, of course. Of course, we're setting up a wellness retreat this year. Probably gonna be ready for the summertime. I'm working out the details on that, but we'll be doing like our first wellness retreat. So I'm excited about that. Um, what else we got? Of course, we're going to be getting back into doing our herb walks, going out to nature and actually, so we can able to recognize these plants, because one thing when they you know, come from sacred roots, right? They get shipped to sacred roots, but sometimes you don't know. I went out and go get the herbs for you,
Mm-hmm.
so
Right.
but it's good to recognize them yourself in nature because I might not be with you, in the woods, when you in the woods and you might see something and like, man, what's this? But and you may need that at that moment, So it's good to recognize those plants in nature, so and start become familiarized with them as well and utilize them. So we're gonna do herb walks. We're gonna continue to do our herb walks. And I got some other stuff too coming up. I got something special coming up, but I don't want to say it yet. I want to I'm not gonna
Say
say
that.
it yet.
That's
But
right.
I'm proud of it. It's a work, but I'm proud of it. You know, but I'm just gonna pop it up on people. You know, and it's gonna be like, look, surprise. You know, so I'm
Good.
excited about it, too, but I ain't gonna say what it is yet. I ain't gonna
Well, make sure you guys are following Khet Was Hutip. I know I messed it up. Make sure you follow him so we can find out what that pop up is going to be about and be able to participate in that. So
lie.
now in our group in the Sabian Alkaline Hall, we're just wrapping up a 21-day fast and we're on day 15. So what's your knowledge and expertise in fasting and what type of encouragement would you give those that are fasting, especially those like myself that is coming back into the lifestyle?
Yeah, that's beautiful. I like that. I just came off a fast Monday. I just broke my fast Monday with some fruits and stuff. Um, so I did a juice fast too. Right before I was like, oh man, I would have joined y'all juice fast. So I just came off when one of y'all started it. Matter of fact, but fasting is amazing for the body. It's a reward for your body. You understand? Because if we constantly bombarding your body with food, and we always think about food. Everything we do, we thinking about some fun. We got an emotional attachment to food.
Attachment to food, yes.
Everything we do, food got to be involved. We got a promotion. Oh, let's go celebrate. Let's go eat. You know what I mean? If somebody died, oh, we gotta go eat after we, this morning we gotta eat. There's always food involved somewhere. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's a cultural thing, right? Some of the best lessons I learned at the dinner table. But we have to restrain or abstain from food as well too, because we got to give your body a break so that it can really heal itself. Because your body will heal itself, but is so overworked from always trying to break down some food or some toxin that you put into it that it don't have a chance to really just actually do what it's designed to do, right? Um, so, fasting is really good. And you don't really have to fast that long, like, unless you try to heal from like actual disease. Like, you could do a 21-day fast. That's really all you really need. You know what I mean? Uh,
Hmm.
and really, shit, you fast for 36 hours, right? No food. 36 hours, your immune system will reboot itself. You
Yes.
understand? Um, what happens is our body goes into what we call autophagy, right? And autophagy, what happens is like basically like self-eating, right? That's what it means, right? But it's when your body starts to eat away at anything that isn't supposed to be there, like whether it's weaker cells, whether it's cancer cells, whether it's tumors, all these different things that shouldn't be in the body is able to be eliminated. Okay, and so we're giving our body a chance to renew and revitalize and restore itself on a cellular level. All right,
Hmm.
even within your cell, right? And within your cell, you got something in your cells called a lysosome. And this lysosome, think of it like a garbage truck. It's like the garbage truck of your cell. And what it does is just collect all of this cellular debris and junk that's not supposed to be in the cell, and it puts it in these trash bags and it kicks it out of the cell. And your immune system, or well, let's say the macrophages, right? The macrophages will come in and eat up that cellular debris, that the cellular debris that the lysosome took out, and normally you just defecate it out, right? And so fasting tends to help with that process and to expedite that process quicker, right? So some may call it chelating, right? But it's a process that happens, but if you constantly eating and eating and eating, it's like you gotta like your cells could be like a room, and then you got this. and the room just get junky. Like you don't never clean the room, right? You never clean this room. Now you ain't even got nowhere to move because you got so much junk
Right.
in space, right? And so what happens is cellular death happens, right? So this death happens like that, and so it starts to degenerate in that position. So it's always good to fast because your cells will be cleanse themselves, and trust me, you'll be revitalized within no time. Right? There's so many different diseases can be healed by just fasting. Sometimes you don't even need the herbs. I mean, the herbs will help and of course, expedite the process of healing. But a good fast would heal so many diseases just alone, honestly. So fasting is a beautiful thing on a physical level and a spiritual level.
That's right. That's right. Beautiful job. So, guys, tell everyone where to find you through all of your channels.
Okay, so you can find me at Khet underscore Waas 9 on Instagram and sacred underscore roots at on Instagram. That's the business page. And then of course Sacred Roots LLC on Facebook. Um, what else? I think that's it. What else? Oh, I'm on TikTok too. I'm trying to figure that out, but I'm on TikTok
Yeah,
too.
me too.
I'm so old school that
Yeah,
I try my best to keep up with all this.
yeah, yeah,
I'm doing my best.
yeah.
Uh,
Same here.
yeah, so you can find me there. Go on the website. Become a member of the email list. Subscribe to the email list. That way you can kind of stay ahead of when we having classes. Some of the classes are normally recorded, so we can do a live classes and things like that. Definitely look into, like, if you want to be an herbalist, if you're looking into just increasing your information and increasing knowledge, you may want to enroll in a sacred health class or sacred academy, that we have. So that's really good. So, I'm here, I'm around. I poke my face in and poke out every now and
Very good. Very good. Well, we thank you so much for investing your time with us tonight and
then.
bringing your face out to the place, out to the community. And I really, like I said, I really love. When do you have another community event?
It's gonna be next month. I'm gonna do something for the children. I'm gonna do a children's medicine making class. That's gonna be the first
Oh,
um half of the
that's
year.
awesome.
Do something for the churn, how we say
Right.
down here. Because I haven't we didn't focus on the children as much last year, but I want to make sure that the children are knowing how to make medicine too. You know what I mean? So yeah, we're gonna do a children medicine making class
Okay.
next February. Yeah.
Well, before we end, we do have one question on the live here. Someone is asking, well, Ron, not someone. Ron is asking, can fasting heal sickle cell?
Yeah, it can, and you have to also like overflow your cells with iron, right? With iron phosphate and iron fluoride, right? Because a different type of irons. Normally, they give people with sickle cell iron fumate, and that particular iron normally can cause constipation or nausea, things like that. Because your blood renews itself every 6 to 9 weeks, right? So the
Yes.
thing is, if we pump that iron or get these herbs in your body to the overabundance of iron in your body, then what happens is the hemoglobin inside of the cell or the blood cell can hold. So right now, a person with sickle cell or let's say anemia would cell would look like a donut. All right. And then so it's nothing holding it. The hemoglobin ain't here to hold it, right? So heme is means iron, right? It's just hemoglobin, right? And so what happens is it starts to break. And as it breaks apart, it turns into like a sickle. And so the blood is looking like a sickle. So what we wanted to do is we want to give a like almost an overabundance of iron in the blood. So once it catches that new cycle, right, that 6 to 9 week cycle, you're flowing in with new healthier blood cells, right? So now we can get that hemoglobin back in the center of the blood cell, right? So, but fasting will help because it will help with getting rid of all the, I would say like the debris and just plaque on the blood cells, okay? But you definitely want to use iron, right? So you could use like sarsaparilla, um, cocoa meca, or what we call chaining root, nettle, suma root is a good one. We also have a tonic on the website that was made by Dr. Sabi's wife, my aunt, called Maya Tonic.
Mm-hmm.
Maya, and so we have that on the website. So that's excellent for boosting iron levels up quick too. I remember Sabi always said, like, a person with sickle cell, they want to at least get about 2 bottles because one bottle you're just gonna drink it down. You're just gonna down it, and then the second bottle you will just use as prescribed. But you definitely can heal from sickle cell. It's just a matter of really putting the abundance of iron in the body.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that. So, once again, if you want to keep in contact and especially find out what that next pop up is going to be, you want to go to sacredroots.com, and you can also see the links to all of his social media pages on the website and take a look at all of the things that he's have offered to the community. And we'll definitely stay tuned. Some pictures and photos and videos for the kid event. That should be really exciting.
I'm excited about that. We'll have a good
As,
time.
absolutely. So thank you so much for your time. Any last words?
Peace and love. Y'all keep going. Blessings to y'all all. Y'all keep going on y'all fast. That's a beautiful thing. And continue to heal each other and spread the word of healing and love.
That's right. Absolutely. Thank you so much. And we really, really, really appreciate you as well. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. And I know you guys wasn't necessarily present in the live like we have in the past, but you guys have really been doing really good on all of these live series. And yet again, we have some wonderful, wonderful information. Now, this is our last series for the 21-day fast. We will have Carl Foster that will be joining us on the 21st to help close out the fast with some great information. And stay tuned in the hall. We'll be giving you some tips on how to come out of the fast. Because what I don't want you to do is stop the fast on next Tuesday and then on next Wednesday you just go eat whatever you want to eat. We're not gonna do that. That's not gonna be healthy. All right. So stay tuned in the group. We'll have some live sessions, just every now and then give you some tips on how to come out. And we really, really appreciate you. It has been a fun, fun time. Happy end of day 15, and let's go right into day 16. Love you guys. Assalamu alaikum.